Hello everybody, thanks for watching. In this part of the video I'm going to show you how to make the Nemo Junior, which is a very small inexpensive camera bag. I say small because this particular design is, but if you need a larger bag for a larger camera, you can just use a bigger clamp, and larger PVC fittings are available and bags are available, so you can make it to about any size you need. This took me about an hour to make. The hardest part was putting the PVC lens cradle on, and I'll show you how to make that. If you want to make it without the lens cradle, I'll show you after this video how to make it with a vinyl bag. The vinyl bag, you really lose very little clarity. It takes pretty good pictures with the vinyl bag. The first thing you're going to need are the PVC attachments. These little pieces of PVC are available in your hardware store, the couplings, and they come in a variety of sizes. You're going to need some 3M 5200, some neoprene strips, and some clamps, and some stainless steel bolts, and a piece of line for your handle. The clamps, I used a router to make the little slots. You can use a table saw. You can also use a hand saw. And this material, this plastic, is starboard. If you don't have it available, you can use hardwood. This is a little sardine tin, and I melted the hot glue in it. And you're going to need a bag. In this particular bag, it's 10.5 inch by 5 inches. And you're going to be making your clamps according to the size of your bag. Let's get started. This is your PVC coupling, and we're going to make a mark on there so we know where to attach it once we put the hot glue. The hot glue does a very good job of attaching to the polyethylene bag, so long as you're not going to be using this bag someplace where it's very cold. If it freezes for an hour or so and it's under stress, it could pop off. So that is a limitation. There's almost no glue that sticks to polyethylene, and I tried them all. So if you're not someplace freezing, this will work fine for you. We're putting some water on a piece of board and putting it in the bag. That water is going to dissipate the heat. From what I understand, the heat actually changes the chemical nature of the plastic and allows the hot glue to stick. Use your safety gear, use your glasses. You don't want anything to mess with your eyes there. We're going to melt that hot glue all over the stove or any place safe. Just cut up some little pieces of hot glue sticks and put in there. Once it gets clear, you don't want it to get real hot, you don't want it to smoke, but you want it to melt it. Real slow, even heat, let it melt to where it gets clear. It gets very hot. We're going to stick our PVC coupling down in there for about 30 seconds, take it out and attach to our bag. Now let it sit in there for about 30 seconds. You want the PVC coupling to get hot too. It's a little messy, so be careful, and it will burn the bejesus out of you. You've been warned. Okay. Now let most of that glue come off. Let it slide off like syrup off a pancake there, okay? Twirl it around a bit. Don't want to let it sit out too long. You want it to make sure it's still hot. Yeah. Twirl it really good. Now pop it on there and press it down hard. And don't worry, that wet paper towel will dissipate the heat. If you didn't have that, it would melt that plastic and the piece of plastic below it. Now put that can of hot glue away someplace the dog won't get it. And before you pull out that paper towel, you might want to wait at least a couple of minutes, because if you don't, you're going to have long strings of hot glue go all across your bag. Now this is your lens. Your lens has a piece of paper on it, and it's going to fit. See that PVC attachment? There's a little shoulder down in there, a little slotted part. Your lens is going to fit right down in there on that ledge that's inside there. We only took off half the paper. That way we can still hold the lens and attach it. Now take out your paper, and that attachment is on that bag really good. See how nice it is there around the edge? We're going to be cutting out that center with an X-Acto knife. You can use that or any sharp knife you have. Now you're still going to need that board, because that board's going to protect the other piece of plastic when you cut it out. Now this is a piece of neoprene. You don't have to do this, but it helps. It also makes the camera look better, but I've made plenty without it. But it's still, if you have some neoprene, it's a good idea. You're just going to cut a little circle, and when you're done, that'll pop over. It'll make it look better, and it'll even help it stay on better. It doesn't make it waterproof. The glue is what makes it waterproof. This just keeps it from being disturbed. There you go. Now I'm doing this pretty fast, so you could take your time and make it look neater than that if you want. Now put that board in there, because that plastic, it's about 6 ml thick, but it cuts real easy. So put that board in there so you don't slice it. That plastic, it actually cuts too easily. The only camera I've ever gotten wet in any of my housings has been in one of these bags, and I slice it on a barnacle. That's the only time I've ever gotten any camera wet. That's because I always test my housings before I use them, and I got it cut on a barnacle. But it was a RCA camera, a little flip video. I took it apart, rinsed out with water real quick, and dried it out, and it still works. I was really shocked. Okay, we've taken out the plastic from the inside. Almost done here. Now let's see what it looks like. There we go. Nice and clean on the inside. You can also see that little shoulder inside where the lens is going to fit down inside. Now take a little bag, little tiny Ziploc bag, whatever, and cut a little hole in one of the edges. Little tiny hole. Something so small a sandfly couldn't get through. Okay. Little razor blade. We're going to squirt the 3M 5200 inside that bag and squeeze it, and it's going to come out. That's what I found out. That's what the pastry chefs do to make decorations. It took me forever to figure this out. I used to make some messy looking lenses, let me tell you, but this works perfect. You can put a little bead of glue right around inside. It works perfect. I should have put that glue farther down in that bag though. See how far I have it up to the top? It should have went down closer to the bottom. Now I got to squeeze it like I'm milking a goat or something. Okay. Yeah, you're going to take that paper off and hold it by the paper. Make sure your hands are clean, because that's what your camera's looking through. Okay. Now you got to squeeze this out here. 3M 5200 works really good. It never gets really hard or brittle, so it remains a little bit soft. It doesn't stick to the PVC as well as it does the acrylic. You wouldn't want to have pressure coming from the inside. But it makes a really good gasket. And it seals the water out good. Okay, now we're putting that little tiny bead of 3M 5200 right around the inside on that groove, that little shoulder there in the coupling, where the lens is going to pop in there. And don't forget, you have many different size PVC couplings. So whatever size camera you have, if you need your lens mount to go inside the lens cradle, these PVC attachments, they're available many different sizes, so whatever type of camera you have, you can find one. And you can just get your PVC or your acrylic lens cut to fit. If you don't have any place locally that can cut your acrylic lens for you, you can go to usplastics.com. They have many different sizes available. They have a lot of other good stuff too. It's www.usplastic.com. Now we've got the 3M 5200 in there. Let's put our lens in there. Now take your time. Once you get the 3M 5200 on the lens, you're pretty much done. You can wipe it off the PVC, but not that acrylic very easily. There you go. Nice and even. Well, that's about it. I think you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to show you how to make one without the PVC lens now.